There we go. Okay, finally. Okay. I probably should have checked my mic before I done this, but it's actually a little bit tricky for me to get started. But um, glad I am, finally back now. We're gonna turn that up just a little bit more, and there we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off by talking about potential Cyclone 8. Okay, we're talking pretty much So, as you guys can see, we already are keeping an eye out for this system right there, as you guys can see. And as of right now, it's just a low pressure area. It's considered low pressure area 8 with only sustained winds of around 35 miles per hour. That's the latest update so far. So, we definitely still got to keep an eye on that, as it's still bringing some pretty widespread rainfall to parts of North Carolina and even parts of South Carolina as well. So places like Jacksonville, North Carolina, back into Fayetteville, even up there towards Raleigh, North Carolina, you guys are getting some pretty good rainfall so far. So I hope you guys will continue to see that. Thankfully, there isn't anything major just yet, but from what we know so far, there actually could very well be some flooding. So we're gonna go ahead and check that out by turning on the warnings. I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and turn off the hurricane track so you guys can see a little bit better. But yeah, we actually do have some flash flood warnings in effect. Unfortunately, they are considerable, which means, life-threatening flooding is happening, and that could maybe indicate some pretty, bad flooding right there. We're talking anywhere from 2 to even as much as 4 inches of rainfall, which is still gonna continue to be a possibility as we will continue to watch this. We got a flash flood warning just south of that with the same things. Maybe a little bit less rainfall in this area because we're only seeing around 2 to 3 inches, but I mean, this is still going to be an area that we still really do need to, keep an eye on, especially because this area could continue to see some pretty bad rainfall. So we'll continue to, keep an eye on that area. We do have a flash flood warning up here in parts of northern North Dakota due to a line of storms moving on through, and this one isn't as crazy, but this is still going to be something to keep an eye on, as heavy rainfall is occurring and potentially producing some flash flooding across these areas. So we definitely will need to keep an eye on that area. We got another flash flood warning in effect for parts of Wisconsin. We're actually going to go ahead and select this radar right there, and let's go ahead and quickly take a look at this one as well. And yeah, pretty much caused by the same things. Could see some thunderstorms, potentially bringing some higher rainfall totals across parts of these areas. So that's why, we are going to continue to keep an eye on these areas up here to the north as well, especially in the upper Midwest. So, we will continue to watch those areas, but we're still especially concerned down here as we do have some pretty bad flash flooding ongoing. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the National Hurricane Center, and for how much rainfall we can expect, we could see still anywhere from 6 to 8 inches of rainfall, especially areas to the north and northwest of Wilmington, North Carolina there, as you guys can see. And look at that, guys, a little bit farther to the west, pretty much west of Charlotte. Look at that, we are actually seeing some pretty good rainfall totals between 6 to 8 inches of rainfall, and there's even a little tiny dot right there indicating almost a foot of rain. So it's pretty crazy to see a little bit higher rainfall totals out here in parts of the Appalachian Mountains, but a lot of this rainfall has already occurred earlier today, and so that's why the National Hurricane Center has downgraded the rainfall totals a little bit, but this is how much rainfall we could still very well see in the future. So we will keep an eye on it to see if we see anywhere from 6 to 8 inches, with some isolated totals up to 12 inches or even a foot of rain is possible. We will also be keeping an eye on that in parts of Virginia. There, as you guys can see, pretty much areas to the southeast of Richmond. So we do need to be keeping an eye out on this area as well, especially given the fact that we could see anywhere from 4 to even as much as 6 inches of rainfall, even there near Norfolk and as well as Virginia Beach. That's where we could be seeing some pretty good rainfall totals as well. Now, if we look at the cone of uncertainty, this is something that we need to still be keeping an eye on, because like I said earlier on the radar, this system is likely going to continue to be a tropical cyclone like how it is right now. It's not really expected to get any stronger, and you might be asking, why didn't the system be named? That's because this hasn't really been organizing very well. This still gotten strong enough to where tropical storm force winds are likely, but it's very disorganized. We're talking very disorganized storms and very disorganized tropical storm force winds across parts of southern North Carolina and as well as northern South Carolina. So you guys in those areas need to continue to be on high alert, as this still looks to be pretty bad, okay? So make sure you guys are still taking this seriously, especially as the system will continue to exist. And one of the things that we are, keeping an eye on still for the rest of today, and like I said, we are watching for that potential of maybe even up to a foot of rainfall in some areas, and that's why this slight risk goes as far west as the Appalachian Mountains region. But we could still very well see the same thing near Wilmington, North Carolina, especially if we start to see some heavier showers rolling on through, maybe even some brief thunderstorms around. So if you guys do have any questions about if you guys will see flash flooding, feel free to leave those in the chat, or you can even ask if we'll see severe weather from the system. And that's, a really good question to ask, because we actually do have a 5% risk for tornadoes across parts of the east coast of North Carolina. Okay, so you guys in North Carolina, especially along those coastal areas, need to be paying attention extremely closely. Okay, this is not to say that we won't see flooding anymore. This is also to say that we will likely be seeing a lot of tornadoes with some of these thunderstorms that develop. So you guys along the coast in North Carolina need to be on high alert. Wind threat, we don't have a wind threat along the coast. You guys are still expected to see some really high winds, could even reach 60 miles per hour. Like I said, there are some disorganized tropical storms that we are still paying attention to, but the main concern for wind looks to be over here across parts of southern Idaho, into northern parts of Nevada, into central and northern Utah, back into southwest Colorado, into northwest New Mexico, and as well as northeast Arizona, looking to see that threat for wind. And then hail threat, we see, that across parts of southeast Utah, southwest Colorado, northwest New Mexico, and as well as northeast Arizona, looking to see a threat for some large hail. We could even be seeing that across parts of northern North Dakota into parts of northwest Minnesota, looking to see both a 15% risk for both wind and hail, with maybe even a brief spin up tornadoes also appearing possible. So if you guys do live either along the coast of North Carolina or across parts of North Dakota heading into northwest Minnesota, you guys need to be paying attention extremely closely, because some of these storms will contain some severe hail, wind, and like I said, even a brief tornado might even be possible in both areas. So make sure to be paying attention, and that means make sure you have ways to receive alerts. Make sure you know where your safe spot's gonna be. Your safest spot will be a basement, or even a closet, just depending on how your house is shaped. But whether you have a basement or not, you need to make sure you do go to your safe spots. So make sure to plan that ahead of time, even for the second severe weather season coming up this fall. So like I said, make sure to find your safe spot, as a basement is the safest spot if you have that. Otherwise, be in the most interior room of your home, and as many walls in between you and the outside as humanly possible, especially if you don't have a basement. So make sure to plan your safe spot, like I said, and also make sure to be prepared for severe wind by securing your objects, and of course severe hail, which is bad also, which can cause damage to cars. So it's best to put your cars in your garage if you don't really do that. So make sure to do that if you haven't already, if you do live in this area across parts of North Dakota, like I said, heading into Minnesota. But let's also go ahead and take a look at the models, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at our current storm right now, and this is potential Cyclone 8. And like I said, it's very disorganized, and that's why it hasn't been named. But if we take a look at it, as you guys can see, we got models showing that this will turn around and head back to sea as soon as it passes the Carolinas. We don't know exactly how far west this will go, but all models are agreeing that this will indeed make a turn. So we will be keeping an eye on it to see if this thing, chooses to maybe go a little bit farther to the east. This model over here is showing a little bit weird of a turnaround, as it shows it, pretty much coming onto shore near towards Georgia, and pretty much heading up here towards parts of Delaware. But that's not really gonna be a big concern, though. Our more concern is that after it passes both of the Carolinas, like I said, it's more than likely going to make a turn and head towards the Atlantic Ocean once again. So you guys in those areas need to be on high alert, as like I said, we need to be keeping an eye out for some major flash flooding across those coastal areas, including a chance for a few brief spin up tornadoes. So please be aware about that if you haven't, gotten prepared for that yet. But let's also go ahead and take a look. We're going to go back to the National Hurricane Center again, so we can talk about a little bit more. Okay, we already took a look at the rainfall and as well as the flash flooding, but let's quickly go ahead and take a look at some warnings. As you can see, there's no warnings right now. I actually thought there was, because tropical storm force winds are occurring, but it doesn't look like there's any warnings right now. And like I said, this is very disorganized, so I mean, it's actually not really surprising to not see any warnings in effect, because this isn't really bringing any organized wind or storms. This is just bringing disorganized storms and heavy rainfall. But like I said, this is still going to be something to keep an eye on, though, as we do head throughout the rest of today. So make sure to do that. And like I said, I was right about tropical storm force winds. Look at that. We got a 90% chance of seeing those tropical storm force winds along the coast. That purple color that you see right there, right next to Wilmington, North Carolina, indicates a 90 to 100% chance of tropical storm force winds occurring. So make sure you are prepared for tropical storm force winds, like I said, because like I said, you guys really need to be prepared for this, even though there's no warnings in effect. So you guys can, please trust me on this, okay? Please trust me that, this will still be a dangerous storm. So I hope you guys are listening to that. But back to the radar again, we actually just got a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect, heading southwest towards Woodward in Oklahoma. And we're gonna go ahead and quickly check, and yeah, this is heading north northwest or southwest rather, and this is looking to bring 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. So if you guys do live in Moreland, Woodward, like I said, heading into let's see, even WWR, West Woodward Airport, you guys need to please be in your safe spots, okay? So make sure to be in your safe spots if you guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning or under, a potential path of the storm. And the reason why is because these things can sometimes tear off shingles. So even though people don't really say to be in your safe spots as much during a severe thunderstorm warnings, we would still like you to please do that, because it's always good to do it just in case. So like I said, make sure to go in your safe spot if you have not already. Let's see here. Soup. Did you meant to say super? So are you happy about me doing my live stream? But if you're trying to say that to me, I do appreciate that. And also thanks for joining as well. I absolutely appreciate it. And so, I hope you are having a great day also. But like I said, thanks for joining me. And we do have a flash flood warning for parts of Jackson, Mississippi. We're going to go ahead and quickly take a look at that one as well. And it turns out that anywhere from 1 inch to even 1.5 inches of rainfall have already fallen. We couldn't even see, 1 to 2 inches of rainfall in that area, as storms will continue to fire. Back over here towards the coastal areas of North Carolina, we are still keeping an eye on those ones, as we are still likely to see some pretty big time flash flooding in certain areas. We are also watching parts of Durham, North Carolina as well. So we will definitely keep an eye on it for you guys, like I said. And like I said, if you guys got any questions about flooding, or if you want to leave anything nice to me, make sure to leave those down in the chat. You guys can even ask questions about if there'll be severe weather, or you guys can even ask some other questions as well. I don't mind any question that you guys ask. Just make sure it's respectful, and feel free to leave it down below. Like I said, a lot of you guys have been really sweet to me, and also subscribing to my YouTube channel has also helped out a lot, and definitely continue to do that. But if we look back here at the radar again, as you guys can see, we do still have a flash flood warning in effect for parts of northern North Dakota, like I said. So we are still keeping an eye on that one, as you guys will continue to get impacted by the storm system. Let's see here. Soup is short for what's up, or how, or like how are you? Oh, okay. I see now. Like I said, I wasn't sure if you were trying to say super or not. Sometimes people just say that for super, but I'm glad that you told me that. I really do appreciate that, my friend. And yeah, thanks for telling me that. That was very, 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 very nice of you, my friend. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of these other areas. We're going to go ahead and briefly take a look at the severe thunderstorm warning again in parts of Oklahoma. We still got a supercell right here, capable of producing some penny-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts across parts of Oklahoma. Like I said, if you live in Moreland, Woodward, or even the Woodward Airport, you guys need to be indoors, away from windows. And like I said, you guys should be going to your safe spots, just in case the thing does choose to strengthen. And we're in quickly check. And yeah, and it even says it's kind of stationary too as well. But like I said, we are continuing to watch it as well. Let's see here. But the stream is super. Thank you so much, my friend. Like I said, you have been very, very nice and kind to me by letting me know about all that stuff. And like I said, hope you are also doing well as well. And of course, continue to watch. Let's see here. But yeah, back over here towards the Carolinas again, we are still keeping an eye out for parts of North Carolina still, and we are still keeping an eye out to see if these flash flood warnings get a little bit worse. And I mean, yeah, still expecting anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rainfall in some of these areas. Unfortunately, even Raleigh, North Carolina is under flash flood warning, so you guys might be experiencing some considerable flash flooding too as well. So like I said, if you guys are under flash flood warning, it's always good to stay safe. I haven't actually told you guys what to do during a flash flood warning, but like I said, you guys can even ask questions about, if there'll be flooding in your area or what to do during a flash flood warning. So, like I said, feel free to leave any of that in the chat if you haven't already. And like I said, you guys have been very nice to me, which I do appreciate. We're gonna also go ahead and take a look at some of these other things, like these model guidance right here. This is what we like to take a look at to figure out if this thing is gonna strengthen. Not really. It looks to die down pretty dramatically as soon as it heads onto land. So we will continue to keep an eye on this, very closely as this still continues to bring that potential for some tropical storm force wind gusts. And like I said, that is very unorganized, so not looking to see the worst out of it, but still gonna be something to keep an eye on, as it will continue to die down but still remains in the tropical storm category. And then may strengthen a little bit as it does head back out to sea, which we will need to keep an eye on, because a lot of these model guidance, which I'm going to quickly show you guys, are actually showing that it will turn around and curve out to sea. This is the GFS model, by the way, showing it coming onto the Carolinas, and that's exactly what that kind of uncertainty shows. And then yeah, you guys can see that will turn back around and head back into the Atlantic Ocean right there. So like I said, we're going to have to watch for maybe some development as it heads back into the Atlantic Ocean. And we also got some storm systems that we are watching for as well. And, this one is something that we are keeping an eye on. And this isn't really something I did my stream for. It was more to, keep an eye on that tropical storm. But I'm also, telling you guys some other things that may be something to keep an eye on in the future. And, when that storm systems comes, I also want to tell you guys that we will have that potential for severe weather. And by the way, as we head into Thursday, we actually already got a slight risk for severe weather issued by the Colorado State University. And I'm actually going to go ahead and quickly do something because I forgot. Hey, there was a tornado warning earlier, I think, but and that's why I had it there, but I just forgot to turn that back down to 0. But anyway, like I said, we do have that potential for severe weather, especially as we head into Thursday, because the Colorado State University does want to show a slight risk in effect. Okay, so that indicates that we may see some severe hail, wind, and maybe even a brief spin up tornado, especially if we get anywhere from a 2 to a 5% risk for tornadoes by the time we head into Thursday, which is something we will continue to keep an eye on. And let's go back to the radar again. As you guys can see, we are still continuing to watch this extremely closely, as you guys can see. And it turns out that this thing is completely on land now, so we're gonna go ahead and change our title. We're gonna go ahead and go to my live stream, so that way we can change the title of it. And I apologize for doing this, by the way. We're gonna quickly go ahead and take a look at this, and then we're gonna go ahead and go here. So we're gonna go ahead and change this to major flooding, or let's actually put flash on there. Major flash flooding ongoing in North Carolina. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna make sure I did that right by quickly checking about on these. All right, yeah. Um, just like I said, just making sure. I got this right by checking. So, yep, pretty sure I got that right, and we're gonna go ahead and click save. So, there we go. And we're gonna go back to the radar again. And as you guys can see, we are still continuing to keep an eye on it, as it does look to impact parts of the East Coast, like I said. So we are still continuing to watch these areas in parts of North Carolina still. um and so, we will still continue to keep an eye on it. And like I said, if you guys got any questions, concerns, or anything you want to ask about what I'm doing in this video, feel free to leave those down below in the chat. I will absolutely answer them to keep you guys safe. So like I said, if you guys haven't left something already, feel free to leave that in the chat, and we will continue to be live for this, especially because we still have some major flooding ongoing in parts of North Carolina right now. But back over here towards Oklahoma, said that it's stationary still, but like I said, still likely to head a little bit to the southwest, as this thing will continue to stay strong, still capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour winds and even some penny-sized hail across that area. So like I said, you guys in Oklahoma, best to stay in your safe spot. Like I said, this can still do a lot of damage, but even if you don't feel like it, that's fine. But, like I said, we do recommend it because it is still going to be a very dangerous storm. Back up here towards parts of the upper Midwest, we're going to go ahead and check these out again. Still got some flash flood warnings ongoing in parts, of northern North Dakota, and we even got another one over here in extreme northern Wisconsin. So we will continue to watch both of those areas very closely, as that potential is still looking to be there. We're also gonna look down here towards Mississippi again real quick, and this one looks to maybe be our next extreme flood warning, as some areas have already experienced almost 2 inches of rainfall, and will likely add up to 1 to 2 inches more of rainfall as we head into the future, which means we could have a total amount of around 3 inches across that area, including downtown Jackson, Mississippi. So you guys in that area need to use lots of caution, and that indicates turnaround, don't drown when encountering flooded roadways, or try to seek higher ground, especially. So please do that if you haven't already. But we're gonna go back over here towards the National Hurricane Center again. We're gonna take a look at tomorrow's outlook now, and we still will continue to see that chance for some showers and thunderstorms along the East Coast from the system. But look what we have over here going in the Western Plains and Eastern Rocky Mountains. Look at that. We got a threat for both significant wind, a brief tornado, and even some severe hail across that area. Main concern looks to be winds. And if you're wondering what this hatched area is, which is mainly across extreme eastern Wyoming, back into parts of western Nebraska, into parts of northeast Colorado, and even into southwest South Dakota, is likely to see a chance of 75-mile-per-hour winds or greater, in which is hurricane force, by the way. So if you do live in this hatch area, you do have a chance of seeing hurricane force winds, which is 75-mile-per-hour winds or greater. So make sure to be on high alert if you do live in that area. If you're wondering what this yellow color is right here, that's out of the hatched area. This yellow color right here that you see indicates, 60 to 75 mile per hour winds are possible, and then this brown color that you see indicates, a small but still possible chance of maybe some damaging winds occurring. Same goes for hail. We may see some severe hail across these areas, especially extreme northern Montana. So you guys in Montana need to be paying attention as well, especially for severe hail, which looks to be your guys' main concern. But it's really just going to be, the wind and as well as the tornado threat, which looks to be the highest concern, like I said. So you guys in those areas need to be paying attention, please. That would be the best thing to do. But back over here towards the radar again, we are still continuing to watch, some of these areas closely. Like I said, we may see some more flash flood warnings develop, but we're gonna go ahead and check again on parts of North Carolina, as we still got some pretty big flooding ongoing in certain areas of North Carolina, especially areas along and south of Raleigh, North Carolina. So you guys in that area need to be on high alert. So make sure to please be on high alert if you do live in that area. So make sure to, be seeking higher ground or turning around and don't drown if you are encountering flooded roadways. Back over here towards Oklahoma, still got a stationary severe thunderstorm warning, which, as of right now, it's really still, but like I said, this could maybe start heading a little bit to the southwest still, because it just says it's stationary. We'll still have to see what this does. I expect it to move to the southwest, but this may even be heading to the northeast. We don't really know right now because it's stationary, but I can almost guarantee you that this will eventually move soon. But like I said, if you live in Woodward, Moreland, or if you are in this severe thunderstorm warning, you need to make sure you go indoors and away from windows, or go to your safe spot, which, like I said, that's what we recommend, especially because the storm is still going to be pretty bad. So please make sure to do that if you are under a severe thunderstorm warning or you are in the potential path of the system, okay? So make sure to do that if you live in those areas. Back over here, to the, other areas that we just took a look at. We are still keeping an eye out for, some major flash flooding. Like I said, across parts of North Carolina. We're actually going to quickly check and see. And, we are still keeping an eye on it, because, like I said, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches is possible, as it still has 2 hours on it still, so flash flooding is still likely to continue. Same goes with this one. Almost got 3 hours actually of flash flooding still ongoing. Still got that potential for 2 to 3 inches of rainfall for areas along and east of Fayetteville, North Carolina. And of course, these areas in Jacksonville, in North Carolina, could, really be seeing, a lot of rainfall, because as of right now, between 2 to 4 inches have fallen, and we will likely see anywhere from 1 to 2 inches in 1 hour, with additional amounts of 2 to 5 inches possible. So another 2 to 5 inches of rainfall is possible in this area. So we might, be keeping an eye out for some, even more flash flooding in those areas. Over by Wilmington, North Carolina, got some pretty bad flooding ongoing there too as well. And oh my goodness, you actually gotta be kidding me right now. 8 to 15 inches of rainfall is occurring. Like I said, you gotta be kidding me right now. That is really, really bad, by the way. You gotta really be kidding me. These areas just to the west of it, I mean, I feel like these should probably be warned too as well, but like I said, gosh, that's just wild. Really, really wild, especially when these areas, just south of Wilmington are, already seeing between 8 to 15 inches of rainfall. That is really, really wild. So you guys south of Wilmington need to be on extremely high alert And if you're gonna be encountering a flooded roadway, turn around and don't drown. I don't care what you think. You guys need to please be following these flash flood safety rules. And if you don't have a way to turn around and don't drown, get out of your car and seek higher ground. Okay, seek higher ground would probably be your best choice regardless of that. So like I said, you guys need to make sure you guys are taking this seriously. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to make you guys take this seriously. I'm saying this because I want you guys to be safe, okay? So make sure to take these things seriously because, like I said, this is not going to be very safe if you guys do not follow those flash flood safety rules. And like I said, turn around and don't drown or seek higher ground, which, like I said, is probably going to be your best choice. Back over here towards Oklahoma again, still keeping an eye on this little supercell right here. Looks like it got a little bit stronger, actually. And let's quickly look at that velocity. And for the velocity scan, we might have a little bit broad area of rotation across this area. There's not really any dark reds and greens touching each other, which, you know, indicates some very broad rotation. So if you do live in this area, might have a tornado possible tag on it pretty soon. But as of right now, it's not really having very much rotation with it at all. So we'll keep an eye on it. But like I said, not really looking like a huge concern for a tornado threat. But like I said, 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail still looks to be the main concern with that system. And the best thing to do is to be indoors, away from windows, or to go to your safe spot, which, like I said, is what we recommend, especially if you're gonna be, you know, in the path of this storm, or if you're going to be you know, under severe thunderstorm warning as of right now, which is the only one currently in effect. Back over here towards areas in the upper Midwest, it turns out we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect. So because we have two now, we're gonna go ahead and quickly change this to 2. We got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings already in effect. And as you guys can see, we got a pretty big line showing right there. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds is going to be the main concern with this one. Places like Dresden in North Dakota, heading into Langdon in North Dakota. You guys can correct me on that if I got that wrong. Back into Elson in North Dakota. You guys need to, you know, be indoors and away from windows, and as well as Loma in North Dakota. You guys need to be indoors and as well as away from windows. Please go into your safe spot if you guys do live in this severe thunderstorm warning. This one looks a little bit more organized than that last one, not because it's a line of storms, but more because, you know, it has a lot of heavy rainfall with it, especially if you look at these pink colors on there, and it even has a lot of areas potentially having some very large hail with it. And something we can take a look at is the rotation, okay? As you guys can see, we got a lot of dark red showing up, but we don't really see a whole lot of green touching the red, which it maybe indicates a couple areas of extremely broad rotation. Worst case is that we might have a little bit of a rotating area in this line of storms, but like I said, not really looking like a major concern. So, you know, you guys still may, you know, be in your safe spots just in case if you do live in the severe thunderstorm warning in North Dakota. But like I said, not really looking too concerning for a tornado threat just yet. We are also watching this storm just right behind the one we just took a look at, and this one also looks to have the potential to become severe, and we can actually go ahead and look at the Storm Prediction Center to see if these areas that were forecasted are seeing severe thunderstorm warnings. And yes, we are actually seeing both severe wind and hail across areas in eastern and as well as northwest Minnesota and, you know, North Dakota, like it said. So, you know, those areas that we're expecting to see severe weather are. And so, like I said, you guys need to be on extremely high alert still, as this still looks to be a pretty big concern overall. We're also gonna go ahead and take a look at what we can expect with these other flash flood warnings now. One still continuing for another hour to 2 hours across Jackson. Like I said, you guys have picked up anywhere between 1 to 2 inches, with a total of 4 inches possible, as another 1 to 2 inches is still going to be possible across that area. These areas up to the north also have flash flood warnings in effect too as well, so you guys in those areas need to also be keeping an eye on it. Thankfully, the one in Wisconsin just expired. We don't really have to worry about that one anymore, but you guys in North Dakota that are under the severe thunderstorm warning should also be aware of flash flooding too as well, because this storm is really strengthening a lot. So please make sure you guys are taking this storm seriously. Let's see here. And like I said, you guys can, leave any questions in the chat. Feel free to leave that. And you guys can also, leave any nice thing you guys want to tell me in the chat too as well. So really anything that's respectful, feel free to leave those down below. And something I also want to point out is, subscribing to my YouTube channel really did help out a lot. So if you guys will please subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be awesome. I'm still trying to get to 500 subscribers before fall, and I mean, you guys have been doing really well on that the last couple of months, which I do appreciate. But you guys still need to continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new here or if you haven't subscribed already. So make sure to do that if you have not subscribed or if you're new here to the YouTube channel. Back down here towards North Carolina, still continuing to watch those areas closely. Like I said, these areas have already seen, a ton of rainfall. And like I said, anywhere from 8 to 15 inches have already fallen. This is, one of the wildest flood warnings I have seen before. Jacksonville, North Carolina, not seeing the worst flooding, but still likely to see, anywhere from 2 to 5 inches of rainfall as some more storms looks to continue to be moving on through that are off the coast, especially this one. Look how big and, tight that line of storms is right there. That looks to, be coming right onto shore. So, I mean, this is really going to cause some really wild flooding. So you guys in, these areas need to be on high alert, especially if you're already under a flash flood warning. These areas, pretty much along and south of Raleigh, still continuing to watch those areas as, we are keeping an eye out for anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rainfall to still potentially occur. As of right now, just 1 to 2 inches have fallen, but like I said, we are still keeping an eye on it to see if we get any more rainfall than that. It looks like they got another severe thunderstorm warning because they upgraded the hail, so that actually isn't surprising. Like I said, that thing has strengthened a little bit, especially because that tornado potential has started ramping up a little bit. Okay, so this isn't necessarily a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is just because they upgraded it, and now we're talking about the potential for quarter-size hail, not penny-size hail, but quarter-size hail, which is 1 inch in diameter, and we're also talking still 60-mile-per-hour winds. So you guys in that area still need to be in your guys' safe spots, because like I said, that's what we recommend. Back up here towards North Dakota again, where this flash flood warning and severe thunderstorm warning is, still got that potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds along this line, and as well as some quarter-size hail, which like I said is 1 inch in diameter. We are still watching this area over here to see if it does get worse than what it looks like right now. Worst case is that this might end up producing some damaging winds pretty soon, but as of right now, not really looking like a huge concern. back down here towards North Carolina again. And by the way, guys, we're actually going to be looking at some live cams. We're going to look at North Carolina live cams. And we're going to take a look at these to see if we, can see any interesting things going on there. We're going to go ahead and look at whatever's pulled up. Let's see here. There's this, and then I don't think I want that one. Let's see, this one right there's another one. Let's see. They're still trying to figure this out, my guys. I apologize for the patience. Okay, I think we might have found it right here. Yeah, there's a live cam right here on Franklin Street in Chambers Hill, North Carolina, and yeah, you can already see a lot of the flooding is ongoing in that area, unfortunately. But we're really just trying to find these good live cams. I remembered an app, but I can't remember what it's called. Like I said, I apologize for making you guys wait a little bit. Still trying to find what I'm trying to look for. But, it's okay, guys. I think I actually might end up ending my live stream right here just because I've been live for a long time already. But before we end our live stream, we're going to quickly take a look at some severe thunderstorm warnings. And we're probably going to end it in about 15 minutes. So, like I said, feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. If you have not left any of that already, because I am getting ready to end my live stream pretty soon, not because I'm trying to, keep you guys safe and updated, but because, I don't usually be live too long. I usually be live enough to, give you guys all the information that you guys need. So, like I said, feel free to leave any of that in the chat if you haven't already. And this one, just got severe warned, heading to the northwest, or northeast rather, and producing quarter-size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Same goes with this one, still quarter-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. We got a severe thunderstorm warning across parts of southeast Oklahoma, right there, southeast Oklahoma, and this one's actually pretty crazy, okay? We're talking 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail with this one, unfortunately. So, we will watch that one closely. I also want to take a look at some of these storms in Utah. Some of them are trying to get their acts together a little bit. Some of them are even starting to produce some pretty heavy rainfall as well. So, we'll continue to keep an eye on these ones. But like I said, I'm going to be ending my live stream pretty soon here, because like I said, we've been live for quite a long time. Back over here towards, let's see, we're going to go ahead and look at these flash flood warnings again. We are still continuing to watch, these areas extremely closely still. And like I said, as these areas of, storms continue to move on to shore, these will likely bring some significant, flash flooding in some of these areas, unfortunately, like I said. So, like I said, we're still gonna continue to keep an eye on it. We're also gonna go ahead and take a look at models again, just to see if they haven't changed yet. Doesn't look like they changed very much, but something that we haven't took a look at yet is this. We haven't looked at the potential tracks yet, and it does show it turning around and heading back to sea. As you guys can see, as soon as it hits the northern and South Carolina, southern North Carolina areas. So we are watching these areas extremely closely, like I said, but we are still continuing to be watching these areas very closely. But I think we're going to go ahead and end my live stream right here. Thank you guys, very much for joining me. Like I said, I'm not ending my live stream because, we already got a lot of things to still be talking about. I'm ending my live stream because I don't really need to be going live very long. But I hope you guys all have a great day. Hope you guys all stay safe, and we will see you again if another